It is 9:58 a.m. and I want to go over a few setups that did happen as well as a one trade I did take here with ALST. This stock is just a bit scary. I think if I have more experience, I can be able to hold these better, but I just don't like sub pennies that shift around the level 2 like this, but it could be way worse. It could be GEGI, which is really ugly. I was actually considering this one for it was like another dip and rip or a morning panic bounce play setup, and I like how I had the trend line right here, and then it started to break above it, but it downtrended a little more. Unfortunately, this thing trades with an ugly spread, just really ugly when it's like at a really important point to be in the setup. I haven't given it any money. If it didn't have such a wide spread, I probably would have a few more times, but there was a potential here, and it just wouldn't really just look that nice with the way I had that spread. But in theory, there was a setup right here at 16.8, and you see it go as high as 18.2. There was a chance to sell in the 18s, but for a lot of the movement towards the upside, maybe at like 172 or 173 from an entry at 168 would have been sells because it trades with that wide spread. Even though it uptrended, it's also with a wide spread, and a lot of this is just the stock hitting the ask. It wasn't too ideal. It's having another dip. I'm probably not that interested in this one because it might actually be topping signs, because at least we had a wick here, and now if it doesn't try to break the day high and it just continues to trade back and forth, it might downtrend and then it might hit a bunch lower, which if it looks clean and it has consistent volume, I might consider a dip buy setup then. But for something like this, even if it works out and it makes a higher low off of here, I'm not too interested in it. TGGI, I am watching this one if it tries to break 14.9, which it's kind of having like a not so legitimate uptrend there, but all we need is like big volume to show up and it can try to do it, and that could legitimize it and make it an uptrend and maybe get above 15, and that could be like a nice multi-day breakout setup. That's pretty much about it. I yeah. Okay, this was my trade with ALST. Now, I first saw it because I was interested in it the other day, how it made a nice run up. I did notice how it had like these wicks where it would show that it might not really uptrend that much, but I like how this one has a lot more volume than the other few run ups. And on top of that, I like how it had like a dip and rip setup. It did downtrend from the 65 sub penny level to the 53s, very wide, and then it started to trade back and forth, and then once it started to break past VWAP, this was a nice setup. I never took it because it was a 5 million share seller at 65, yeah, 65 or maybe 64, and then a 2 million share seller at 65. I was watching it when it was building itself towards this level. It was just too quick. It did break 65, and the moment it broke 66, or maybe it broke 64 with the 5 million share seller, and then it immediately broke 65 with the 2 million share seller. And this was a very, very, very quick uptrend. I wasn't able to be filled here. It was just too fast. Very fast the way this one traded. So why did I trade this setup? Well, I like how it went from under VWAP, breaking above it, uptrending, and then it kind of came back. It even had a wick towards the VWAP level, and then at 9:55, it was looking like it was going to break out of the 70 sub penny range after it broke past it here briefly, got a little higher, then it kind of came back under, and then it started to hold VWAP, and then it was kind of like bouncing back, and I thought that's why, this could be a potential setup. I did get in at 72. I'm just a bit shaky with this kind of stock, but it did work out. Like you can see the trend line I drew here from this candle to this candle. I even saw that it was the same with this candle. This trend line would have allowed me to have sold better, maybe a sell in the high 70s. And I did sell the next minute at 75, 15,000 shares. 956 right here at 75 is when I sold. And again, I was in right here at 72. Yeah, it just trades a little scary, but I mean, this is something I do want to get used to. It's a lot better than GEGI. a lot better than GEGI. And yeah, you can see right now this is kind of like the idea where it might try to break the day high or the range, and now we're at 17.3 by 18. You know, if all OTC starts trading with a super wide spread like this, I'll just have to get used to it and adapt. But in the meantime, I'll just put my money in other setups. I'll keep looking at ALST, but I don't really see much of a setup right now unless it tries to break the 80 sub penny level. But at that point, it might even be a chase. So I will make an update later. Just one trade with ALST. Very impressive break past the 65 seller with 5 million shares. Okay, it is 10 p.m. and I am here to call it off. Overall, I'm going to be up on the day $4.50, and that was just one trade. I do want to note, because I didn't do any recap, I did have a $100 month trading roughly, I think, a $40 risk level the entire month. I want to see more consistency, better trading overall with a $40 and $50 risk level before I consider the possibility of sizing up. I don't like how my dollar risk level is $40 at the moment, and what I made in a month, which is at least double, and if not the biggest month I've had this year. I just don't like how it's, about half of what I made. So I do want to see that I get better percent gains and more consistency in that sense, and much stronger green days. I had that one trade with ALST, and that was about it. It was super impressive to break past 65. I never really experienced something that just broke past a big seller at the ask, and then another one right above it in just such a quick amount of time. Very impressive. And then I think maybe with more experience with a type of stock like this that trades not just with a spread, but also very quickly, and the level 2 shifts a lot. This thing was a pretty nice move towards the upside. I did sell at 75, and it did get as high as 81, which is impressive. And I think I needed to have just a little bit more shares to have a proper $40 risk level. I guess 20 would have been it. Yeah, that would have taken it to around that level. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. It sold off. There wasn't much with this one, but I'll watch it because maybe it might try to hold above the 40 sub penny level over a few days, and then it can try to regain itself and break past the 60 sub penny level, and this could be a pretty impressive setup. AABB was uptrending throughout the day. I never really saw it, but it did make like I guess a breakout later in the day. Not necessarily something I like doing. This one was also uptrending, but it doesn't have that volume that AABB has. TGGI never broke above the 149 level, but I'll be watching this on Tuesday because Monday the markets are closed for Labor Day, I believe. Nothing with GEGI besides this move right here, and yeah, I just wish this one traded better. And nothing with GGII. That's pretty much it for today. A lot of good experience watching this one right here, ALST. I do want to size up, I actually really do, but at the same time, I just want to see that I'm trading better overall before I do that. That's all I have for today.